Okay, you ready?
So we've gotten through the first, I guess you could say, phases
Gently
of
down
tummy
the
play, which
street.
was in the very beginning when they're
Mary,
just
Mary,
lifting their
Mary,
head to
like a
turn from cheek to
button.
cheek. So it's just a small lift of the head. And then they start to gain more control of that head and they start to lift the head. And you want to help remember to tuck the elbows underneath them so that they're weight bearing through their forearms. And then once we get down, then we progress to weight shifting while on our forearms. Um, and this is going to be important for being able to weight shift and reach, and then which then leads to weight shifting, reaching, and rolling over from belly to back. So you can see here in this video that the water mat is a perfect place for them to naturally have to weight shift because the water is going to kind of toss them both directions. So you can see here that he's weight shifting onto his forearm, and he's able to reach with that opposite arm that he's not leaning on. So you can see that he pretty much only weight shifts onto his right side. So I'm just going to facilitate that weight shift onto his left side so that he can reach with his right side as well, because we want it to be a little bit more balanced than just reaching and weight shifting to one side. And then I always like to roll in and out of our tummy play just so that he gets that momentum. And then you can incorporate the reaching. So he was reaching down below in that last video. So we're going to incorporate reaching a little bit higher as well. And remember that this is just play. So if you need to assist them, that's okay. That's what it's meant for. We're not being tested. We're not expecting anything. It's just play. And then as they start to weight shift, you may notice that they start to pop up onto, so before they were always on their forearms, and so you may notice that they start to pop up onto their wrists or their hands, weight bearing through their wrists a little bit more. And this is going to be emergent, so you'll see it sometimes, but not every time. And it's hard, so you may notice like he's doing here that he's falling. And then as they get more and more exposure, they will be able to pop up onto those wrists with the full extension of the arms and maintain that position. So to play and get that arm extension, you can try over a boppy or a prop pillow. And again, we have tons of videos on these if you want to check out our shorts or our Instagram, so that you can see exactly how we're playing and incorporating this into our play. So one of the things that I really like to do to incorporate that arm extension into our play is put them over a rolled towel or your leg or a prop pillow. And the further that you have it away from his chest, the harder it's going to be. So definitely start with it up in the armpit, and then you can slowly move it down. And again, we have tons of videos on tummy play and how to incorporate these skills and what you want to see before you start playing like this, so that you can make sure that you're not pushing your little one too much. We want to push them, but we don't want to push them past their skill level and their ability. And then once they're able to maintain that position with the extended arms, you might notice that they start trying to pull up onto their hands and knees, but you can definitely start helping them with it. And this is just to show that play is motivation and it's meant to help engage. And so if something's not working and they're not loving it, then move on, try something different. So again, you'll see that hands and knees position, and I'm just helping stabilize him. Again, we're playing, so that's okay. And we're just getting used to being on that hands and knees position now that he's able to extend on the arms. So we have all of these new skills that are starting to emerge, and yes, we are still doing back play because it's such an important piece of play for development. So now our back play has turned from visually tracking to a little bit more reaching for things and reaching in all planes. So we want to reach out to the side, reach above the shoulders, reach to midline, just trying to facilitate reaching in all different directions and planes, and make sure that you're hitting both sides for sure. and then just setting up your environment so that they have plenty of opportunities to reach, whether it be in midline, so like the center of their body, whether it be out to the side, above the shoulder. You just want to give them plenty of opportunities to reach in all different directions. Now that we're a little bit more advanced in our back play, we're going to be working on a little bit more core strengthening. So we have some baby sit-ups that I like to incorporate after our diaper changes. And you can see what I'm looking for here is that chin tuck. So you can see in the second time he did it, you might have to rewind to watch it again, but the second time he did it, he kept his chin tucked, and that's what you want to see when they're coming up. And then we're incorporating a lot more feet play to get those abs fired up for rolling. So you can start off with the legs propped up, and you can use a towel or a blanket, your leg, and just prop those little feet up in the air. And then you can move on to putting their feet into position, and then next thing you know, they're bringing their feet up, and all they want to do is hold their feet, and they constantly have their feet in their hands. That is what's going to lead to rolling over to their belly. So that's always a fun one. And even before they start rolling independently, we incorporate a lot of rolling play. So right here, we're just doing half rolls, and you can see that I'm kind of getting him started, and then I let him do as much as he can, and it's play, so keep it playful. We're still doing a lot of side lying, even though we have all these new skills, and you can incorporate some prop side lying to build those shoulder strength a little bit more and that neck strength. And that's going to lead to rolling over. And again, we have tons of videos on these in our shorts and then on our Instagram page. If you check out our highlights, you can check those videos out. So now that we have a little bit more control of our head and we're getting that core strength, we're going to be sitting up independently soon. But before that, we can do a little bit of prop sitting. So prop sitting is going to be exactly how it sounds, is they're going to be sitting up but propped on something in front of them. So that could be the floor, it could be a raised surface like that piano or the book. And again, we have a lot of play for upright position just in general, and I'll link some of those videos that we have down below so that you can check those out and just get different ideas on how you can play in an upright position. And after all of that strengthening and our core is nice and strong, then they'll start to sit independently.